Hello and welcome to Dabbling in Journals, and in today's video I'm going to do a new setup in my Camel Traveller's Notebook from Traveller's Company in the passport size. I've decided to change its purpose, so I have emptied it out and I want to turn this into a little bitty sketchbook that I can take with me when I travel to Paris. And I wanted to take just a small sketchbook because I am planning to carry my art supplies in a hip pack and my journaling supplies in a little rucksack, which I will show you at some later date. But first of all, I just want to set up this little guy. So I have a dashboard, and this dashboard happens to have a photo of a colour pencil drawing that I did. I don't have this anymore. I gifted it to my mum because the drawing is of my son when he was little. So I thought that was appropriate for a sketchbook to have a piece of artwork that I've done myself. I have this insert that I keep moving around and I really want to complete it. It's only got 2 little pages done, so I want to keep that in here and take that with me. The other thing that I wanted to take with me is this insert, which is the watercolour insert from Traveller's Company. It has perforated pages, so it's very easy to take them out. And I thought it would be perfect because if I do a little sketch on here and take it out, I can stick it in my travel journal, which will be a regular sized Traveller's Notebook from Traveller's Company, and these will fit really nicely on the pages. So I wanted to include that in there. But because the paper is really smooth, it is called a watercolour insert, but it's not watercolour paper, but it is able to take watercolour, but you can't do sort of anything other than, you know, very basic sketching on it. So I also wanted to have an insert made of good quality watercolour paper so that I can practice my watercolour skills. So what I've done is I've taken some good quality watercolour paper. This is Saunders and Waterford, or is it Waterford and Saunders? I can't remember, but it's a really nice 100% cotton paper, and it's cold press, so it's quite different in texture. You might not be able to see on camera, but this has got a texture which works really well with watercolour, and this one is smooth. But this one would be nice for colour pencils as well. It's quite nice for mixed media, and you can use wet media on it, so that's absolutely fine. But I wanted one insert that was sort of thick, good quality watercolour paper. Now such a thing doesn't exist, so I have to make my own. So I've just roughly cut out the size that I need for my Traveller's Notebook in the passport size, and I folded them all in half, and I think that's about as thick as I want it, because I'm not going to be doing lots of sketching or painting while I'm away, but I might want to do some. So I've done that, and then I was looking through my stash because I wanted to make it a cover, and I found this one, which I'd made for a regular size Traveller's Notebook, but I'm not using that in there anymore. So I thought it would cut it down to fit this and repurpose it. So that's what I'm going to do first. I've got my paper cutter here, and I'm thinking, which bit of the image do I want? I think I want the brushes, so let's cut it off there. Might be easier single file. Some single file, single thickness. So if I just go just below the brushes, and then I need it to be, let's go for 5 inches. And then we'll check that with the book. Yep. And then I need it to be just over 4.5. So let's go. Oh, is it already the right size? No. So what was it again? It's 3.5, just over 3.5. So I've just got some ink here and I'm going to distress it. This is Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz. I've got my paper and my cover. And it's a bit wibbly wobbly, but I don't mind that. And I'm going to put a clip there and a clip there. And now I need a cutting mat, and I'm going to try if I've got enough strength. How many shall I do? Shall I do 2 stitches or just 1? I think I might do 2. And because I'm slapdash, I'm just going to eyeball it. That's 3. That's 3 in the not right place. Let's try again. That's better. Not quite the right place, but never mind. There we go. So all you need is this tool, but I don't know what this tool is called. I'll try and find out. Right, now somewhere I've got a needle and some thread. This is wax thread, but you could use embroidery thread or whatever thread you've got. So I'm going to start in here. They're not on the fold at all, my stitches, but never mind. I'm back in this one. You know what I've done? I've just gone through the... There we go. And in this one, back to that one. There we go. So I've stitched those holes. I put 4 holes, and then all I need to do here is tie a knot. This is where it's helpful to have someone to help you to hold that bit there, but I can do it. There we go. And I'll maybe do 1 more, just for extra security. And then cut it off. And then I suppose to be neat, you could tuck these ends in. But I'm not fussed. So let's see. I now have my own little watercolour paper insert with really nice watercolour paper in it. So that will be really fun to play with while I'm on holiday. And yeah, looks okay, doesn't it? Given I was being very slapdash. So let's pop that into my notebook. Don't need that anymore. So I want this one and this one. So I'm going to elasticate them together. And then I was going to put this dashboard. Do I want this in the front? I think so. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit bigger than my dashboard. So I think perhaps I'll put my dashboard on this one. Yeah, that fits better. And then this one. I think I'm going to swap it round. I may need to trim it a little bit because I've made it quite big, haven't I? Let's get my scissors. It's a bit wibbly wobbly. Okay, and now I have to distress it again because I've cut the edge off. Okay, let's try again. Oh, I think that's better. Yes, now it fits. So I'm really pleased with that. So what do I need to do now? I want to put another piece of paper in this dashboard, and then I want to decorate this little insert. So I did pull out some paper. I thought this would look nice with the blue insert. So I'm going to use a piece of this. So let me just grab my paper cutter again and see if I can get it the right size. So 3.5. I think it's 3.5 by 1 3/4. Looks too big. Take a little bit off that side. Just distress it. Right, let's pop that in and see how that looks. There we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? So we've got brown on the front, which I like with the cover. And then we've got this blue that looks nice with this little book, and this blue looks nice with the cover of this book. So all I have left to do now is decorate this insert. So again, I'm going to start with distressing. There we are. And this paper pad, which is the paper pad that I used as the cover for the insert I've just made. I got that in upside down. Yes. There we go. Right, so that was the Atelier des Arts paper bag by Stamperia, and on the other side it's got all these like little cut apart pieces, and I'm thinking I could use one of those as the focal point on my collage. So which one shall I pick? I think I'm going to pick this one, which says, and of course it's in the middle, which says we all have an artist within us, and I think that's a really nice sentiment. People sometimes say, oh, you know, you have to be born with a special talent. And clearly there were some artistic geniuses who were born with something special. But even so, they never would have realised their potential if they hadn't done loads and loads of practice. And for most of us, just doing loads and loads of practice will enable us to become pretty decent artists. We just have to stick at it. If it's something we want to do, of course. If it isn't, then don't. I'm rambling. Right, I've cut that out. I'm laughing at myself. So I've got a little centerpiece, and now I'm just grabbing some inks because I want to use my stamps that Marie gave me because I really love them. I've been using them on everything lately, but why not, eh? So I think a bit of texture on the front of this will look really nice. Now, what colour? This is kind of like a greeny tealy. So I think Ice Spruce, which is cool as it's one of my favourite colours. Well, my favourite colours in this Distress ink line, or Distress Oxide ink line. I'll get there in the end. And yeah. Let's see how that works. Ooh, lovely. It just looks all sploshy and distressed and old and cool. And then I want to put, I think, the little dots, because I really love those too. Oops, wrong way around. Love ink all over me now. Lovely. And I've just grabbed some Tim Holtz washi tape because I think these colours will look really nice with this little tickety thing. And I wonder if I want to put any paper. Maybe some of this. I'm going to put a little bit of the paper. Across there. And then I really love this washi tape. I'll zoom in for you. It sort of reminds me of something, oh, I don't know, Turkish? Why do I think that, I wonder? Must be the sort of pattern. It makes you think of tiles. hand-baked tiles. And then I want a little bit of this one. Like that. And then I'm going to stick my sort of main element there, I think. There we go. And then I'm going to pick another one for the back. I think I'm going to go with this green tube of paint. Or the amber. Or the terracotta. I don't know. I feel like going for the green. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to use that one, so I just need to distress around the edges. And this time I think I will stamp with green. So grab my, I'm sure I have a green one in here, peeled paint, that's green. What shall we use? Ooh, that's a frame. I didn't realise that. Oh, how cool is that? I thought that stamp was all in one piece with the star, but it's not. Ooh, I like this stamp set even more now. So let's start with a frame. Pop it about there. Oh, cool. Really like that. I think I'm going to use this one again, but in this walnut colour. It's amazing, isn't it, how many different things you can do with one stamp set. They're really worth getting. And I'm going to do some coffee rings as well. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of washi, and this is one of my favourites. Just didn't going off the edge by mistake. There we go. So there we are, fairly simple, but I like it. It's not like me not to use a girl sticker. What do you think? What's come over me? I do not know. Right, so let's assemble it all together and see how it looks. So this one's going in here. Okay, I've got a bit of wash on my hand. Final flip through. So I have my dashboard, and oh, it just so happens that the colours I chose look really nice with this, and I didn't do that on purpose. But I suppose it's probably from, no, it's not even from the same paper pack, so I'm surprised. There we go. So that's the front of my perforated watercolour insert, and that's the back. And again, I think it looks okay with this. And then we've got the lovely blue paper with this little blue notebook. I've got a little paper clip there so I can clip things there should I so wish. And then my little handmade watercolour journal with the 100% cotton paper, which is so much easier to paint on than cheap paper. It's one of those things, I think you can get away with cheap paint, cheap brushes, but really good paper just makes it so much easier if you're a beginner. I mean, people that are experienced artists can paint on anything. If you're a beginner or not very skilled like me, I think it makes it easier. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. And I have that all ready to take with me now to Paris. I might take it out on a little trip just to test it out with my art kit that I'm planning to take with me. So I will show you that in a future video. I will show you what I'm going to pack up in my little hip pack or fanny pack or bum bag, whatever you want to call it. And I will take it on a little outing, and I will take you all with me. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.